You come to me with the quiet trembling of someone who has carried their own shadow too long, and I see in your eyes the echo of 1,000 forgotten dawns. Sit here, close enough for the silence between us to breathe, and listen as I tell you what your heart has been whispering beneath the noise of your thoughts. You have mistaken the chains for your identity. You have mistaken the locked door for your home. You have mistaken the weight of the self for the shape of your soul. But you, beloved, were never meant to live inside that narrow shell built from fears and stories and wounds, inherited from a world that has forgotten how to kneel before the mystery of its own existence. Come closer. There is a secret the universe has placed like a seed under your ribs. The self binds, but love unbinds. The self entangles, but love dissolves. The self builds walls, but love turns them into air. And the moment you taste even a drop of that wine, the chains you thought were forged from iron melt, like wax beneath a rising sun. You have been taught to worship the self, to polish it until it gleams, to guard it as if it were the moon's last fragment. But the self is only a room, not the sky. It is only a shadow, not the sun. It is a dried riverbed, pretending to be an ocean. The self tightens, clings, resists, trembles at the thought of its own disappearance. So it creates prisons and calls them safety. It creates illusions and calls them truth. It creates suffering and calls it destiny. But your soul, the real you, was born before all of this. The soul is not a room. The soul is a horizon with no edges, a fire with no smoke, a vastness that cannot be divided into mine and yours. And yet you live as if you are a single drop, afraid to fall back into the sea. Not knowing the sea has been calling your name since the moment you were formed from stardust. Do you hear it now? That faint music, rising from the distance. It is the song of love. The kind of love that Rumi himself trembled before. The kind that turns existence into a dance. Not the love that bargains or clings or fears. Not the love that counts or demands. This love is older than the world. Older than breath. Older than the first heartbeat that opened the gate between the unseen and the seen. This love is the fire that spun the galaxies. The wine that intoxicates prophets. The wind that wraps itself around seekers who dare to walk into themselves. Beloved, you are not separated from this love. You have merely forgotten the taste of it, buried it under layers of thinking and surviving and performing for a world that sees only the mask, not the face beneath. Come here, take the mask off. Let the wind touch what has long been hidden. I am speaking to the deepest part of you, the part that doesn't need language, but still understands every syllable. That part is the bridge, the door, the breaking, and the return. You ask me, how do I free myself? And I whisper back, you do not free yourself. Love frees you. The self is the knot. Love is the untying. The self is the cage. Love is the bird that refuses to believe in cages. The self is the chain. Love is the rust that eats through iron without effort, without sound, without struggle. You spend so much of your life tightening your own knots. You say, I must be this. I must be that. I must not lose control. But control is the house of fear, and fear is the language of the self trying desperately to survive in a universe that is constantly dissolving and reforming. You cling to the familiar, even when it wounds you, because the self prefers a known prison to an unknown freedom. But listen, freedom is not unknown. Freedom is your origin. Freedom is the first garment your soul ever wore. You have only forgotten its texture. The moment you let go, truly let go, even for a breath, you will feel the universe rush in. It will not hurt you. It is your home. It is where your roots drink from the eternal river. Yet the mind panics. I'm thinking, if I surrender, I will lose everything. But what is the everything the mind guards so fiercely? A name, a collection of memories, a fragile facade of identity that crumbles under the weight of a single honest moment. Love does not take anything real from you. Love takes only the illusions that block your sight. Love takes only the dust that covers your mirror. Love takes only the noise that muffles your true voice. What remains after love is not less of you, but more vast, more silent, more luminous. You wander through life like a pilgrim, searching for a holy place, not knowing that the holy place has been inside you since before you learned to walk. The prophets found it. The mystics danced around it. The lovers drowned in it. Every molecule of your being is singing it, even when your ears cannot hear. Do you feel that subtle trembling behind your ribs right now? That is the door beginning to open. That is the self loosening its grip. That is love knocking from the inside. The world tells you to build a self strong enough to survive its storms. But love whispers a different truth. You are not meant to survive the storm. You are meant to become the storm. Not the storm that destroys, but the storm that dissolves boundaries. The storm that reveals the sky behind the clouds. The storm that brings rain to the thirsty earth of your heart. When you become that storm, you do not fear losing anything, because you realize you were never separate to begin with. There is nothing to lose when everything belongs to the same divine breath. Let me tell you a story without telling it, because it is not a story, but a memory your soul has carried across lifetimes. Once, you were a flame that belonged to the sun. You were not afraid of burning, because burning was your joy. You were not afraid of dissolving, because dissolution was your dance. You were not afraid of expanding, because expansion was your nature. Then you fell into the world, not as punishment, but as invitation, an invitation to rediscover what you already were. But the world is loud, and noise covers truth like sand covering a pearl. You forgot your fire. You forgot your origin. The self stepped in to protect what did not need protection. And you believed it. You believed its stories. You believed its fears. You believed its boundaries. But tonight, something ancient in you is stirring, remembering the sun, remembering the dance, remembering the wine of divine love that once filled every corner of your being. You ask me, how do I come back? And I say, beloved, you do not need to come back. You need to wake up. The path is not a journey outward. It is a melting inward. It is the drop, remembering. It is the ocean. It is the spark, remembering. It is the flame. It is the seeker remembering they were never separate from what they sought. You return to love, not by traveling, but by unveiling. Remove the veils one by one, the veil of fear, the veil of shame, the veil of memory, the veil of expectations. the veil of identity. Behind each veil is another, but behind the last veil is the beloved waiting, with a smile that has been glowing since the beginning of time. Beloved, love is not something you do. Love is what remains when you stop doing. Love is not something you reach. Love is what reveals itself when you stop reaching. Love is not something you earn. Love is your inheritance, your essence, your home, your origin, and your return. The self chains, but only because it is afraid. And love, with its infinite tenderness, unchains, not by force, but by invitation. You do not break the chains, you outgrow them. You do not fight the prison, you see it for what it is, an illusion made of fog. And when you see clearly, the walls become air. Beloved, listen, there is something more I need to tell you, but it must be said with the breath of the night, with the music of the unseen world humming between each word, because what I am about to whisper cannot be spoken in the daylight language of the mind. It needs the hush of night, the trembling quiet of the soul, the listening heart that leans forward, as if hearing the first secret ever spoken in the universe. Beloved, you have lived your whole life believing you are the knot, yet you are the loosening. You have lived believing you are the story, yet you are the silence beneath the story. You have lived believing you are the wave, yet you are the ocean dreaming itself into form. Come closer, for I feel the heaviness in your chest, that invisible weight you cannot name. It is not your burden, it is your cocoon. It is not your prison, it is your chrysalis. The self binds you so that love can break you open in the most beautiful way. Do not fear the breaking. Every star that shines in the sky once shattered itself to release its light. Every seed that becomes a tree must first split open in the dark. Every lover who reaches the beloved must first surrender the armor that was never their true skin. And you, beloved, are on the edge of your own sacred breaking. This is not destruction, this is transformation. Beloved, listen, there is something more I need to tell you, but it must be said with the breath of the night, with the music of the unseen world humming between each word, because what I am about to whisper cannot be spoken in the daylight language of the mind. It needs the hush of night, the trembling quiet of the soul, the listening heart that leans forward, as if hearing the first secret ever spoken in the universe. The self binds you so that love can break you open in the most beautiful way. This is the caterpillar dissolving into a golden soup inside the cocoon, knowing nothing of wings, but feeling the ache of them forming in the unseen. This ache you feel, this yearning, this restless longing that keeps you awake at night. This is the whisper of your wings. This is the caterpillar dissolving into a golden soup inside the cocoon, knowing nothing of wings, but feeling the ache of them forming in the unseen. This ache you feel, this yearning, this restless longing that keeps you awake at night. This is the whisper of your wings. The you, the universe, recognizes, because you and the universe share the same heartbeat. You are the dancer and the dance, the seeker and the sought, the flame and the moth circling it. Come, beloved, sit with me in this moment as if time has stopped. Breathe as if each inhale is a prayer and each exhale a returning. You have wandered through deserts of loneliness, through storms of thought, through forests tangled with memories that were never yours to carry. Lay them down. Lay it all down. Love will not let you be less than you truly are. Do you remember the first time you felt something move inside you? Something you could not name. A warmth. A trembling. A pull towards something invisible yet intimate. That was love calling you. Not the small love that seeks possession or praise, but the ancient love that seeks dissolution. The love that says, "Come and lose yourself in me, so you can find yourself in a truer form." That love has been following you like a shadow of light. Even when you ignored it, it waited. Even when you hid, and it stood outside your door, humming softly. Even when you buried your heart under layers of survival, it touched the earth above you and whispered, "Grow, beloved." You have confused love with attachment. Attachment says, "Do not leave." Love says, "Be free." Attachment says, "You are mine." Love says, "You are God's." Attachment says, "I need you." Love says, "I see you." Attachment builds cages and calls them devotion. Love opens cages and calls it remembrance. Do you feel the difference now? The self attaches. Love liberates. The self tries to protect you, but it protects you from the very thing that could set you free. It protects you from surrender, from vulnerability, from truth. It tells you, if you open your heart, you will be hurt, but your heart is made of a material that cannot be harmed. The soul does not bruise. The soul does not fracture. Only the self does. And when the self breaks, love pours through the cracks, like morning light entering a forgotten room. You fear dissolving because you think you will disappear. But beloved, do you disappear when you sleep, or do you return to a place beyond form? Dissolution is not a loss. It is a remembering. When the drop dissolves into the sea, do you mourn the drop, or do you celebrate the sea it becomes? You are that drop, trembling at the edge of surrender. And I am here to tell you, the sea is not something outside you. It is your own depth, calling you home. There is a light inside you that is never dimmed, though you have turned away from it so many times, you think it has gone out. It has not. It waits behind your sorrow. It waits behind your fear. It waits behind your longing. It waits behind the stories you tell about who you are. It waits behind your defenses, your masks, your habits of hiding. It waits, shining, steady, patient. That light is love in its purest form, not a feeling, not a romance, not a desire, but the very fabric of existence, the fabric of your soul. If you listen closely enough, you will hear it speak. It does not speak in words. It speaks in warmth, in intuition, in silence, in presence. Love speaks in the language of being, and when you hear that language, even for a breath, the self loosens like a knot that has grown tired of resisting. Beloved, you are not here to perfect the self. You are here to see through it. You are not here to strengthen the ego. You are here to outgrow it. You are not here to gather more accomplishments, more praise, more knowledge, more certainty. You are here to dissolve until nothing remains but the truth that has always been. You are here to dance, not to calculate your steps. You are here to burn, not to preserve your shape. You are here to love, not to negotiate safety. You may ask me, what must I do? And I will tell you the secret. Every mystic learns at the doorstep of the beloved you must stop doing. Stop forcing. Stop striving. Stop trying to become. You cannot become what you already are. You are love, wearing the costume of a person searching for love. Remove the costume. Remove the mask. Remove the name. Remove the fear. You are the wine that thinks it is the cup. You are the flame that thinks it is the wick. You are the sky pretending to be a cloud. Come, beloved. Let me show you something. Imagine a door. It stands quietly in the middle of your chest. Behind it is everything you long for, but do not understand. Freedom, union, silence, light, the end of all seeking, the beginning of all being. You have been standing on the threshold your whole life, but you hesitate there. The self says, what if we are not ready? Love says, what if readiness is a prison? The self says, we must prepare. Love says, open, beloved, open, even if your hands shake, even if your breath wavers, even if you do not know what waits on the other side. Open. Love will not harm you. Love will unmake you. Yes, but only in the way the dawn unmakes the night. And now, listen carefully. There is more, much more. The next truth waits in the silence, ready to bloom, because the silence is not empty. It is full of messages the world has forgotten how to hear. Sit closer. Beloved, let the quiet wrap around you, like a cloak woven from the breath of the night sky. There is a sweetness in this moment, a trembling anticipation, as if your soul knows that something long awaited is about to be unveiled. You have peeled back layers of fear, layers of identity, layers of memory. Now we stand before a doorway that does not open outward, but inward. A doorway made of light, disguised as darkness. Do not be afraid. Darkness is only the womb of the unseen. It is the place where stars are born, where revelations take root, where the self dissolves into something more spacious than thought can understand. Beloved, you believe that freedom is something you must chase, something distant, something found in mountains, temples, gurus, rituals. But freedom is not found by traveling outward. Freedom is an unfolding inward, a returning, a melting. Freedom is what remains when you stop clutching at yourself. The self chains, but only because you grip it tightly. You fear letting go because you do not yet trust the hands that will catch you, the hands of love, the hands of the beloved, the hands of the universe that has been holding you since before you were a spark inside eternity. You ask me, if I let go, who will I be? And I smile, because this is the sweetest question any soul can ask. You will be who you have always been, without the dust, without the disguises, without the weight. You will be the wind that remembers it once carried the scent of divine gardens. You will be the fire that remembers it was lit by a flame older than creation. You will be the wave that remembers the ocean it belongs to. You will be the lover who remembers the beloved, not as something separate, but as the pulse of your own being. But to taste this truth, you must dare to step into the alchemy of love. Love is not gentle the way the world understands gentleness. Love is gentle, the way water is gentle, soft enough to soothe, powerful enough to carve through mountains. Love is gentle, the way fire is gentle, warm enough to comfort, fierce enough to transform. Love is the only force that can unmake the self without violence. Not by cutting, not by breaking, not by force, but by warming, by softening, by dissolving. Beloved, I see the yearning in your eyes, the longing that burns like a candle behind your ribs. This longing is not a flaw, it is your compass. It points you toward the beloved, the way a moth is drawn to flame. Though the moth does not know that the flame is its origin. You think your longing is for people, for places, for moments, but beneath every longing is the same ancient desire to return to the love that birthed you. The world distracts you with imitations of this love, with romances that cling, with desires that consume, with attachments that suffocate. These are shadows, reflections, echoes. They can stir you, but they cannot satisfy you. Only the beloved satisfies, because only the beloved is infinite. Everything finite eventually becomes too small for the soul. This is why no achievement satisfies you for long. No relationship fills you completely. No experience quenches your inner thirst. The finite cannot hold the infinite longing of the soul. Do not mistake this longing for weakness. Longing is the birthplace of awakening. Longing is the spark that lights the bonfire of transformation. Longing is the thread that pulls you toward the beloved. No matter how lost you feel, you could take 1,000 detours, 1,000 wrong turns, 1,000 nights wandering without a lantern, and still the longing will guide you home. You may forget the beloved, but the beloved never forgets you. Let me tell you something. The mystics whisper only to those willing to listen when you long for God. It is because God is longing for you. When you ache for love, it is because love is aching within you. When you seek the beloved, it is because the beloved is seeking himself through your eyes, your breath, your trembling steps. The path between you and the beloved is not two paths. It is one path walked from both directions at once. Beloved, breathe. Just breathe. Do you feel that subtle warmth behind your sternum? That is the beloved knocking. Not from the outside, but from the inside. The door you fear opening leads into your own heart. The journey you fear taking leads nowhere, except deeper into yourself. You are not walking toward God. You are walking toward the place within you, where God has always lived. You tell me you feel heavy, burdened, exhausted. Of course you do. Carrying a false identity is the heaviest labor in existence. You have been carrying the self like a stone on your back, a stone made of expectations, memories, judgments, fears. You learn to carry it because the world taught you that identity is the price of belonging. But beloved, you were not born to carry a stone. You were born to carry light. You were born to mirror the stars, not the dust that hides them. Set the stone down. Yes. Now, do not ask how. Do not ask if. Just set it down. Feel the earth supporting its weight. Feel your spine rising like a flame, freed from gravity. Feel the air rushing into the spaces once occupied by heaviness. Do you notice the change? You have not lost anything real. You have lost only a burden. You ask, but if I dissolve the self, how will I live? And I answer, you will live the way a tree lives, rooted and reaching. You will live the way a river lives, moving and singing. You will live the way the sky lives, spacious and unbound. You will live not as a person performing for the world, but as a soul dancing in it. The self tries to control life. The soul participates in its dance. The self fears change. The soul thrives on transformation. The self clings. The soul flows. The self resists. The soul surrenders. The self separates. The soul unites. Beloved, let me tell you a secret. The world hides behind its noise. Surrender is the most powerful act of freedom. Surrender is not defeat. Surrender is the return of the drop into the ocean. Surrender is trust, wearing the cloak of stillness. Surrender is the moment when the self kneels and the soul stands. When you surrender to love, you surrender not to something outside you, but to the truth of who you are. You surrender to the river that has been flowing inside your veins since before your birth. You surrender to the flame that has been burning inside your chest since the first dawn. You surrender to the vastness you once feared because you forgot it was your home. Beloved, the beloved is not distant. The beloved is not hidden. The beloved is not waiting for you to purify yourself or achieve enlightenment or become worthy. Worthiness is not a currency in the realm of love. The beloved does not love you because of anything you have done. The beloved loves you because you exist, because you breathe, because you are a fragment of his own heart, wandering through the world like a traveler searching for a home that has always been inside him. Come, sit with me a moment longer. Let the boundaries between us soften. Let the silence between words breathe. I want you to feel something, not understand it, not analyze it, but feel it. Feel the presence in the air around you. Feel the warmth gathering in your chest. Feel the unspoken yes rising, like dawn inside your heart. That yes is the language of the soul. That yes is the key that unlocks every chain. That yes is the beginning of liberation. Beloved, listen, something beautiful is approaching. The next revelation is not far. It glows just beyond the horizon of your awareness, waiting for you to take one more step inward. For the horizon you fear is not a boundary but a beginning, a threshold through which only love may pass. Come closer. Beloved, let me place before you the final mirror, the one polished by centuries of longing. Look gently into it, not with your eyes, but with the space behind them. Do you see the faint shimmer? That trembling presence that flickers like a candle inside a cathedral of silence. That is you. Not the you made of stories. Not the you shaped by pain. Not the you bound by the gravity of fear. That is the you untouched by time. The you breathing in unison with the cosmos. The you who has always known that the prison was only the shadow of a door you were too afraid to open. Beloved, the truth is simple, yet it shakes the universe. With its softness, the self chains, but the chains are illusions. And love, the beloved's breath, is the hand that wipes away illusions without force, without judgment, without haste. Love does not come to break you. Love comes to unveil you. The world thought you were clay, so it shaped you. But the beloved knows you are light. So, it frees you. Sit here, as if eternity is holding this moment open just for us. Let my words fall upon you like petals, soft, yet filled with the secret gravity of stars. You have wandered in the labyrinth of your mind for so long that you have mistaken its walls for the architecture of reality, but your mind is only a house. Your soul is a universe, and love is the path that leads you back to that universe when you have forgotten its gates. There is something the mystics often hide behind poetry because it cannot be told directly. Awakening is not becoming more. It is becoming less burdened, less afraid, less attached to the shape you take in the world. You were not meant to be a statue carved by expectations. You were meant to be a flame. A flame does not hold a shape. A flame does not cling to certainty. A flame does not fear surrender. And yet a flame illuminates everything it touches. Beloved, this is why you feel restless inside. The rigid structures of your own identity. You are a flame, trapped in a lantern, too small for its nature. Let me tell you a story woven from the breath of truth. In the ancient days, when souls still remembered their origin, a seeker came to a master and asked, "How do I find God?" The master smiled and replied, "Remove everything that is not God, and you will find there is nothing left to remove." The seeker trembled, not knowing the meaning, but now you know. You feel it. You feel the layers peeling away, the boundaries softening, the voice of love rising like a tide that has waited lifetimes to return. Beloved, you were never separated from the beloved. Separation was a dream you inherited, a shadow you mistook for substance. Like a wave that forgets it is the sea. You forgot your own vastness, but forgetting is not failure. Forgetting is the beginning of remembering. And now, in this quiet, the remembering begins. Let your breath soften. Let your shoulders loosen. Let your heart unlearn its practice contractions. You have held the world together with your tension, as if every worry were a thread, preventing everything from falling apart. But the world does not need you to clench. The world needs you to open. The beloved needs you to open. Your soul needs you to open. Every flower that blooms does so by opening. Every dawn that breaks does so by opening. Every revelation that frees you does so by opening. Open, beloved, open as the night sky opens when it swallows the last light of sunset. Open as the moth opens its wings in the dark, trusting the moon it cannot see. Open as the mystic opens his chest to flames that do not burn but illuminate. Open as the lover opens her heart to a love that unravels her boundaries and stitches her together in a new form of being. You fear annihilation, but what you truly fear is transformation. The self whispers, "If you let love in, you will disappear." But listen closely, the soul whispers back, "If you let love in, you will appear for the first time." Let that truth melt inside you. Let it travel through your veins like sacred wine. The drunkenness you feel is not confusion, it is remembrance. It is the intoxication of coming home after lifetimes of wandering. The desert inside you begins to bloom. The storms inside you begin to quiet. The shadows inside you begin to warm beneath the dawn. Beloved, you think the beloved stands before you, but no, the beloved stands within you. You think you reach for him, but no, he reaches for himself through your hands. You think you long for him, but no, his longing is the fire inside your longing. Every time your heart aches for something you cannot name, it is the beloved brushing his fingertips across the inner walls of your being, reminding you, "I am here. I have always been here." Beloved, You think the beloved stands before you, but no, the beloved stands within you. You think you reach for him, but no, he reaches for himself through your hands. You think you long for him, but no, his longing is the fire inside your longing. Every time your heart aches for something you cannot name, it is the beloved brushing his fingertips across the inner walls of your being, reminding you, I am here. I have always been here. This is the great secret, hidden in plain sight. You are the mirror in which the divine sees himself. And the self, the fragile, fearful self, is only dust that gathers on the mirror. When love blows that dust away, what remains is radiant, beyond description. Beloved, do you feel it now? That expanding warmth, that trembling presence, rising beneath your ribs, like a tide of golden fire. That is the true you. That is the soul stepping forward, shaking off the chains it forged in its sleep. That is the dawn breaking inside your chest. That is the beloved, whispering your true name in a language older than breath. Let love become the lens through which you see everything. When you look at a stranger, see the beloved wearing a disguise. When you look at a wound, see the beloved carving space for light. When you look at your past, see the beloved guiding you through shadows that taught your soul how to stretch. When you look at yourself, I'll see the beloved looking back. You will not return from this moment the same. Something in you has already shifted. The door has already opened. You may try to close it out of habit, but the hinge has been transformed. It will never seal again. Light will leak through every attempt. Love will slip through every crack. The beloved will find you even if you hide, for he is the one hiding inside you. Now listen with your soul, because this final truth is not for the mind. You are not the chains. You are not the lock. You are not the prison. You are the door, waiting to be opened. You are the sky, longing to remember its own vastness. You are the flame that has spent too long pretending to be a spark. Walk out of yourself, beloved. Walk out of the identity that was never yours. Walk out of the fears that kept you small. Walk out of the stories that made you forget your origin. Walk out of the shadow of who you thought you were, and walk into the light of who you have always been. The self chains, yes, but love, the beloved's breath, the universe's pulse, the soul's true nature, love liberates. And now you know, not because I said it, but because something inside you has awakened enough to feel it. Carry this flame forward. Let it remake you. Let it soften you. Let it burn away everything false. Let it illuminate every step. Let it whisper to you in sleep, in silence, in longing, in joy, in every breath you take until your last. For when you love, you are free. And when you are free, you are the beloved, moving through the world in human form,